Hi everyone, my name is Marie. I'm going to be talking about the beating the geographical disadvantage, also known as how to build a thriving business without people caring where you're from. I'd like to get to know the audience. First, please do raise your hand if any of these apply to you. If you think you're being paid too low, right? If you've been told your rates are too high, or if your salary payment is based on where your residence is. Great. For the people who did not raise their hands, please come to me after my talk. I do accept lunch and dinner invitations. I mean, the speed dating didn't really work for me, so might as well do it here. But who is this girl right in front of you? I am Marie. I am from a small island in a third world country, but I'd rather introduce myself as a citizen of the world. I've called 4 countries home, each one teaching me the power of my abilities, and I am a marketer and a community builder, which translates to my 2 businesses, Gumamala Studios, which is an e-commerce marketing agency helping brands grow for generations, and a Kaya Connections, which is a retreats and co-living experience where we help nomads build more authentic and fulfilling adventures. So, some more context. I actually used to be a medical engineer. You know, in Asian countries, you're either a doctor or a disappointment. So I had to tell my parents before that I'll do the second best thing, being a medical engineer, but I've been a disappointment to them for almost 4 years now. I am also a yoga teacher, so I'm not that kind of person that goes grind, grind, grind. I tend to like the feeling of balance, which is something that I would need to impose as well. I used to be an influencer. Thank you, TikTok. I started as a content creator, worked my way to paid ads, and then learned about the algorithm. I was over-obsessing about things. And I am self-made. So this is a photo that I just like to show to my people, basically because I love cooking. And this was the photo of my kitchen before, where we have our friends called the cockroaches and the cucarachas, and just seeing how my new kitchen now, which even has a dishwasher, which I'm super, super happy about, comparing to this one before. And I came here right now, self-made. I left my city when I was 16, and right here, right now, with no sponsors, no rich husbands, no sugar daddies, not yet. And I'm coming here, right now, just to prove to you guys that it is possible to be here, right here, wherever you're from. Speaking of which, I hate the question, where are you from? And I know a lot of you guys too are like, oh, I don't know, I've been here, I've been there, I've been blah, 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 blah. But the main reason why I don't like this question is the sentiment that's coming afterwards. You're from the Philippines. Why do you charge so much? And here's the thing. I've been to several countries and I've worked my way in. It's already 2024, we've done the pandemic, we've been working online. What if we could just build a community or a village that just connects us regardless of where we're from? So in this talk, I'll show you how to start a business from nothing, how to get people to understand your value, how to use your network, we've been talking about community everywhere, and eventually get paid right. So first of all, obviously, is to how do we actually start a business? Step 0, actually have a business. Obviously, it's so easy to say that when you're coming from an entrepreneurial background, if you've made businesses before, or if you have people in your surroundings who can actually teach you. But what about people who want to start from an environment that you were always an employee? What about from people where you don't have something to fall back into? So that is exactly what I felt 4 years ago when I started my own business. And what I realized actually helped me was 5 steps. How to start your business from nothing, with no people, no connections, no money. First is to make your own safety net. And this is always variable, right? How much money do you actually need if all shit hits the fan? It can go from money as a safety net. It can go to your parents' basement as a safety net. It can even go to a time, giving yourself a duration, like a 1 year. When I started my business, when I quit my job, actually, I gave myself a 1 year gap year. I said the only things I wanted to do was to surf and do yoga. Unfortunately, the universe had different plans with me. I broke my arm, which actually accelerated my path to becoming a freelancer and a business owner. But this was my safety net, and that's the main reason why I took that risk. A lot of people are scared of taking that risk, and I truly, truly understand. It's so much easier for people who have money, for people who have the influence to just say, just quit your job. But we all know that that is not that simple. So my first step when you're wanting to start your own business is to make your own safety net. Second thing is to figure out your value proposition. And I don't mean, oh, my value proposition is a website. Oh, my value proposition is content. No, you have to figure out coming from what is the problem. A lot of businesses fail because they start from the solution and figuring out what problem they can solve. No, it's the other way around. You have to figure out what are people's problems, what are people's pain points, and how you can help them. The third thing I did was to do a photo shoot. And this is something that a lot of people are saying, like, no, I don't need that and everything, but this is more than just a photo shoot. This is something that reconditions your mind in a sort of self-affirmation. In fact, this photo right here, I did it 8 months. 8 months before I actually figured out that I do want to quit my job. 8 months before I wanted to go into freelancing. 8 months before I actually knew that I was going to marketing. I just thought it would be nice to be in a position and see myself as a business owner. And you know what? Here I am right now. Obviously, I don't use that photo anymore. I am too pale in that photo that I'm too ashamed to be there. But that was me when I was in Germany, and Germany did not do me so well. Sorry. Next is I did work for free. I firmly believe in working for free rather than working for shit. Because when you're working for free, you are in charge of that project, not your client. You are doing them a favor, and you know and you have that project for you to use as your case studies, which you can use to build your portfolio. And the last thing is to build your network. Offline, like what we're doing right now, getting on one-on-one calls, one-on-one coffees, or via LinkedIn is something that I also like to do. Which is the next thing that I would tell you is to actually build your personal brand. And that's how I got my first clients. I started with TikTok, like I said, but then I over-obsessed and went to Twitter, and then now I'm actually currently obsessed with LinkedIn. So if you guys want to follow me or connect with me on LinkedIn, now's your chance. That's the QR code, which is also the same thing here. And how do you actually build your personal brand is through the rule of one. I will not do so many things about, oh, you have to do this is the algorithm, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, with all the social media that I've done, everything is about having a rule of one. Simple. One topic, one platform, think of just one audience that you want to reach, one post per day, and do it consistently for a year. When I started with TikTok, I was talking all about personal growth. I was talking about moving abroad, nomadism, all of these things. It resonated a lot. I was obsessed with figuring out how to make my videos better. And that is the exact reason how I grew my following from 0 to 50,000 in 1 month. When I moved to Twitter, I was talking about user-generated content. That was something that I was interested in. I was working with e-commerce businesses. I love that. I was documenting, and I was using Twitter as my diary to document how life was as a freelancer. And people resonated with me with that because I was showing authority as well as relatability. When I moved to LinkedIn, I was talking more about how to build a business. I was talking more about marketing in a sense of how to build a personal brand and a community and a brand itself for e-commerce businesses. And I've been doing that 1 post a day for a year. And right now, I am not doing like posting on TikTok, posting on Twitter, posting on LinkedIn, because you're gonna burn out. Figure out which platform you're really good at, figure out which platform you love doing, and focus on that for a few months. So here are actually the 4 steps now when we go have our own business. How do you actually build a thriving business? And it all starts with mindset. Because I can give you steps 2, 3, and 4 But if your mind is not there, and if you don't even believe that you can reach, let's say, 10,000, 15,000 a month, everything that I will tell you right now will not work. If you don't have that self-confidence with you. And that's also with regards to imposter syndrome. Who here has imposter syndrome? Who here has been telling people that I have imposter syndrome for like the past 5 years? Right? We have been normalizing imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome has become such a keyword in this day. But please remember, normal does not mean healthy. Think of it, the more that we actually say it out loud, the more that our minds and our bodies will believe that. So we're not actually helping ourselves by keeping on saying that. So instead of focusing on us having imposter syndrome, focus on what we can do with that. And here are 3 of my steps that I did. Number 1 is positive affirmations. I am a yoga teacher and I am in that spiritual delulu. I know a lot of people here are not in that sense. But at the end of the day, if you just tell yourself, you're not losing anything. So I want us right now to just find something that's affirming you. If you don't have anything, you can just repeat after me. Number 1, I am so lucky to be here. I am so good at what I'm doing. I am buying Marie lunch today. Thank you so much. Thank you. But this is not just in the Delulu space. I am also a woman of science. I told you I came from a medical engineering background. So I do have studies that prove that self-affirmation can help people feel more powerful. And that's gonna be recurring in my slides right now. So number 1 is positive affirmations. Number 2, a lot of people have been telling you about this already. Get your wins, document it, get your social proof. So it can be either from results from other clients, it could be from people and testimonials, or it could also come from yourself. And that's why I highly recommend you to do a wins document. Choosing a platform, I just like to do a notes app, and also structure it for you. I like to do it as a list. Capture the details, celebrate your small wins, and at the same time, review it regularly. Because one of the things we can do, okay, we log it there, but we don't really read it afterwards. I like to do it in the notes. I also have my own journal. Actually, I just read my journal a few weeks before coming here, and I'm like, really? I wrote that? That's so small. But at the same time, these small wins I would not be here right now in front of you if I did not have those wins. And the last thing is strategic travel. And I like to highlight that word strategic because obviously we're all nomads here. We always love to travel. But who here actually wants to travel back to their home country, right? Or who here actually wants to travel to London or to sunny Germany? Or, sorry, I keep on saying Germany. I lived there for a bit. But here's the thing. We like to travel, but if it comes to traveling for opportunity, we have to kind of prioritize that too. So you have to travel to learn, you have to travel to realize, we travel here to Bansko Nomad Fest, but we realize we all have the same mindset, right? But what if you travel to an area or an environment where it's a complete different mindset than us? How do we become more open? And those are the ones that will break our glass ceilings. Let me give you an example. COVID time, I moved back to the Philippines, lived there, living the tropical island, amazing, beautiful, you have to come. But I had to go back to Europe. And I had to choose between going to a place where I can surf every day or going to a place where I can meet more digital nomads and actually start my nomad adventure. And I decided to just trust my gut feeling and go to Madeira. And you've already heard a lot about that. But in Madeira, I met 3 people that were influential to my journey. And I will not do it a lot, I don't have enough time. But one of those people, actually, if I did not meet her in that, and she was a personality in the community, and a lot of people have some apprehensions with her, I was very open with her. But if I did not travel to Madeira, if I did not think about opening up myself to her, I would not have thought about quitting my job. I would not have thought that it was possible to do a 1-year gap year, and I would not have thought to go into marketing. And at the same time, as a third world passport holder, I did not think I can do another visa. which is also the same visa that I am here right now, so I am able to stay in Spain. Otherwise, I will be probably crying in my third world country outside. So strategic travel. Then we go to step 2. So your mindset is done, but you actually have to walk the talk. The reason why a lot of my clients pay me for what they do is because I over-deliver. And you can see from my proof, I already told you that. But at the same time, it's all about framing yourself, framing your storytelling. We was talking about storytelling. How do you actually frame yourself? You're not just a software developer. You're the fastest guy to code, and you're the fastest guy to analyze customer data. You are not just a virtual assistant. You're the most reliable person that can free up 10 hours of your week. You're not just a retreats organizer. You're the one that is the best and the easiest way for nomads to work and travel. And you're not a marketing agency. I'm not a marketing agency. I am the easiest team to work with that actually already scaled more than 60 brands. So it's also not just the hard skills, and this is where it's very controversial. A lot of my clients also like to work with me because of my soft skills, my communication, including my English. A lot of people come to me and they're like, wow, you're from the Philippines? Your English is so good. First of all, it's a misconception. We do have English as our main language as well, or as our official language. But at the same time, I did have a lot of effort in order to talk this way, in order to show that I am confident. And it took a long time. The second is delivery time. You go on a client, you talk to people, but if you don't follow through, the client, also me coming from the client side, already has decided for another person. Third is the presentation skills. The way that you structure your talks, the way that you present yourself, the way that you show and visualize things. And lastly, if all else fails, you have the charm. You know, people still love, the way that people get you is either through your authority of how good you are, but at the same time, how you relate to them. And that is a lot to do with psychology. A lot of people who know me, actually, they never saw me in a blazer. And they're like, Marie, why are you wearing that? I'm like, yes, I know, but I am in a stage right now. I'm going to take a photo right there, and people will think on LinkedIn that I am actually legit. So that's something, that's psychology, right? So that is exactly the reason. So if someone can take a photo of me right now, a really good thing, thank you so much. But that's the third one that I would like to say, is to surround yourself with supporters. And I'm pretty sure the people right beside you are always supporting you. I know a lot of people here who are not really related to my talk, but they came here to support me, so thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. Because of this law of averages. The law of averages, you know, we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And that's why I like to travel. I like to spend time with more people that are, let's say, I can get something more from them. At the same time, I can inspire them to be better people as well. But here's the thing, and here's something that I realized throughout my career. The 5 people that you're going to be surrounding yourselves, they're not the ones that are giving you the clients. There's this thing called the weak tie theory. The weak ties are your acquaintances, the people that you just met in lunch, or the person that you just saw in line to the bathroom. If they know who you are, they have different circles. They're the ones that are gonna expand your network as well. And with this weak tie theory, it's actually a study from Stanford, that your weak ties connect you to more opportunities and networks outside your circle. It was a study of 282 Americans, and they actually saw that these 282 Americans got their jobs through acquaintances rather than through their close friends. So if you want to be my acquaintances, please let me know. You can buy me dinner. Thank you so much. But here's the summary. Your close friends change your mindset. Your close friends remove your glass ceiling, or at least they should, while your weak ties open up your opportunities. And the last thing that I want to do, and it's very hard for a lot of us, is to spend. And obviously not to just spend in like luxury goods or whatever, but to strategically spend. You have to invest in yourself. I talked about, you know, how to improve your English, spend in a speech coach, spend in a presentation coach. spend yourself a photo shoot, or a business coach, a retreat, or a virtual assistant. Because these ones, when you're thinking of it as a business owner, you really know that this is gonna come back to you. There is a return on investment. I even have a friend who invested $400 on a social club to meet and mingle people who are high-value executives. But we have to kind of rephrase that too, because we always say, oof, $400. But we have to change that mindset. When you're a business owner, you have to change that mindset. So instead of saying, I can't believe I am spending $400 on a social club, you have to come back to say, I am so lucky that I can spend $400 on a stupid club. And it's the same thing. I am so lucky that this amount I can give up to a virtual assistant or to a speech coach or to a retreat. I'm so lucky that I have the opportunity to go to a retreat in the Philippines with this girl. So one thing I also like to do is to actually remove and separate yourself from your business. And that's a lot the part where people will not care for your business or where you are from. A lot of people don't know about this, and this is not financial advice at all, or please do consult your attorneys. I got a US LLC, and that enabled me a lot to work with more US clients. So even if I'm from the Philippines, people ask me where I'm from, they don't really care because on my invoice, on my contracts, everything is in the US. And this is something that I recently learned about. If you are interested in doing that, you can scan that code. It's $300 maintenance fees, plus for all the taxes and everything. But this actually helped me a lot in getting more US clients who do not want to deal with non-US entities. So that is something that I spent a lot on too, so that it gives me back my investment. So beating the geographical disadvantage, it can take time. It can take effort, and most of all, it involves luck. But as like what my favorite philosopher said, luck is when opportunity meets preparation. How do you build opportunity? You get your supporters and you spend. How do you build preparation? You prepare your mindset and you prepare your skills so that you can stand out. Thank you so much. If you do want to see me more, please do scan these codes.